Hey, what's up, people? It's your boy Kofi from Kafutainmentz back to the next video, and this return of the Unfiltered podcast. I know y'all haven't seen this podcast in a very long time, but it's really something I really wanted to start back doing, obviously. And yeah, like obviously, this podcast actually is based on the 5 mindset hacks to living a more fulfilling life, and this is something I think that is really interesting because a lot of time we as human beings we tend to live for other people, we tend to people please, we tend to make decisions based on ensuring that obviously one, our self image, which I think is important, but our the identity that we portray to people, or the self image that people or that perceived us by, obviously, is something that we tend to like obviously want to uplift, and I think it's kind of unhealthy. A lot of times you'll find ourselves people pleasing subconsciously and not living a life fulfilling to us. And therefore it becomes a vicious cycle. Once you're not unaware of it, it just becomes a behavioral pattern and we could keep going down that path, right? So the 5 mindset hacks, the first one is to first accept yourself for who you are. Accept yourself for where you're at in life, in terms of like a lot of times people tend to be like, alright dog, you know what? I is when I make it. Then I will be like this, or when I think, and when you need to realize is that it's not just like, okay, when I make it, I first need to accept who I am right now, even though if my situation sucks, even if I don't have everything, even if currently life is beating me the pulp out of me, quote unquote. You just need to figure out who you are and accept you for you in this moment, your starting point. Because I think it really starts with you. And quote, big up Mr. Lucario says he chooses inside you, and I resonate to that really and truly, because you need to implement the mindset of accepting yourself, accepting your imperfection, your flaws, and only things that would have happened in the past, you need to forgive yourself for it. Obviously, once you do that, it will lead to the second hack, or the second mindset shift. In other words, is by accepting yourself and then actually starting to implement a growth mindset, or a mindset of terms of like, I want to learn. What growth mindset simply means is that, you know what, every experience that I experience is something that one I could learn from and become a better individual, in layman's term, more or less, right? So what you're looking to do is try to get better day by day, moment by moment. Don't get attached to the experiences, especially bad experiences, because plenty times we as human beings we tend to have something about it. Well, something I learned in performance psychology is that we have a performance, we have a negativity bias, and that would have came about since caveman days, obviously, based on our survival instinct. You have to survive, so obviously we perceive a lot of things as threat. So even through generations, we still more or less tend to have that mentality. So something to learn is that even though that you may not achieve everything, or sometimes things will be difficult, you need to look at it as like, I'm working towards something better. And third mindset hack is that you need to unlearn your behavioral patterns and develop more healthier behavioral patterns. And why that is because a lot of times we tend to have behavior patterns, we tend to have a lot of blind spots within ourselves that tends to hold us back. Obviously, some of the things we would have gotten from one childhood trauma, bad relationships, betrayal from friendships, friendship groups, close friends, family members, people they trust, co-workers, etc., people they encounter. And what tends to happen is that we tend to pick up these subconscious behaviors which we more or less have in our life. And sometimes I'll give example, sometimes we wonder, okay, why do we push away the people who is good for us? And we tend to cling to people who are negative to us, so we're more drawn or we're more attracted to that. Is one of the main reasons that is sometimes the behavioral patterns we would have learned, things like that. And then too, sometimes is that is where, like, so in terms of like, you have to unlearn certain things. And something that people don't talk about it is unlearning like bad patterns, toxic patterns, is something that I believe that is really essential for your growth and development as a person as well too, because obviously like this is something that if you're not aware of it, you will grow older. I mean, once God grant your life and stuff, and you wouldn't even be aware of where all that time went, and you'll become a better person, and you wouldn't even be aware. So one, besides unlearning patterns, you need to learn healthier patterns. Now transitioning to learning healthier patterns. What are really healthier patterns you're looking to learn? You're looking to one, reflect, do some retrospection, as well as set goals in terms of like, okay, what I'm looking to achieve, what am I looking to learn, is it patience, is it thing? And I would tell you, everything takes time, and eventually you're gonna hit your goals, right? So I'll elaborate on those in a little bit, right? And number 4 now, love yourself. And I know people go find out strange. I mean, love yourself. Obviously, I love myself, but this is something I don't think really practice enough. A lot of times, if we really love ourselves as individuals, we wouldn't get in certain relationships. We wouldn't keep certain friends around. We wouldn't keep entertaining people who are not good for us. We would choose differently. So self-love comes from within, and obviously you need to put yourself first. A lot of us doesn't put ourselves first because obviously situations, responsibilities. Some people might be parents, and I was just saying like in those situations, yes, obviously there are things you need to prioritize, but as an individual, I think it's important to really love yourself and really through loving yourself, learn to say no as well when you really want to, because a lot of times, you know, like this thing called kindness is a double-edged sword. It could be a strength and a weakness, and sometimes learning to say no when you really want to say no could save you from headache, stress, and so forth. So learn to love yourself. You learn to say yes to the things you really want to say yes for, and no for the things you don't want to say, well, you don't want to accept, more or less. And the last one, you need to accept that one day we are going to die, and to live life with more urgency, because a lot of times we tend to live life as like, you know, dog, if see a girl you're really attracted to, she, I'll go wait, I'll talk to she tomorrow, I'll talk to she some other time. I keep putting it off. And I mean, I'm saying to be paranoid, I'm not trying to implement that we should live our life in a way that, alright, dog, boom, you know, every day is the last day, like be reckless, like break all the laws, like just love God. No, I'm not saying that. One thing I actually was saying is that we should live our life in a way that we understand that we are here for a limited time, and life is a finite experience, meaning that is limited, and it's important to enjoy it. That is something you really need to do as well, because before you know it, we'll be older, and obviously these experiences or experiencing youth is such a bliss experience. And sometimes so much time we can get caught up by the system or the negativity, the stuff you have to go through of life every day. I mean, not everybody will be fortunate to have a head start in life, but some people may have to fight hard. But we're somewhere within that process to getting rich or attaining wealth or financial wealth, you need to accept and ensure that you have fun, ensure that you are happy, prioritize happiness, because this not going to be here forever, you know. So just looking at those 5 things, these 5 things work hand in hand. I think the first thing, as I said, you have to accept yourself for where you're at. Then 2, obviously look to, you know, get better every day, write down your goals, make sure you have certain progress as well. Then 3, obviously, well, to unlearn the negative things you would have learned, or these patterns, these behavior patterns, to identify, so develop some form of self-awareness through retrospection, and then looking to learn healthier patterns, looking to also grow and develop and learn new things, learn new skills that could help you. So for example, like if it's a shy person, you're introverted, accept yourself for who you are, but then you look at, I want to develop public speaking, I want to do content creation, boom. You could be an introverted person who communicates well. And then obviously by the third one, well, you know, you unlearn some of your bad habits or your mindset surrounding you being an introvert, saying that I will not allowed to talk in front of crowds and XYZ. And then obviously four, you love yourself, and when you love yourself, dog, you just really realize that levels to the shit. You just realize part of you loving yourself means that you're not accepting certain behaviors. You're not accepting certain people who are not ready for you. And don't get me wrong, dog. He's human at the end of the day. We may all fall short of our standards at times, but it's important that you ensure that you start to have some form of standards to enforce. And once you have that, dog, make sure that is a benchmark, dog. Accept nothing less. Even if at times you feel exception happen there or there, don't make it a habit. Tighten it up, and eventually it will become so tight it really happens, or it don't even happen at all. And that is how you maintain your standards. And then fifth, by understanding that life is short, boy, it really does something to your psyche. It really helps you or teach you gratitude in a sense in the midst of chaos. But I honestly think these 5 things would really help your mindset. And yeah, so I really hope all you enjoyed this video. I think one thing I just want to end with is by understanding that this is your life. You are in charge of your life. And after a while, you need to stop pointing fingers. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of things are outside your control. But at the same time, you really develop that growth, mental growth and development. But that growth mindset in terms of by understanding that you are in charge, and you are in charge of the way you respond to things. And these things really help you grow as a person. Eventually, you're going to start attracting the right people for you, the right situations. And if you stay consistent enough, with a better, well, one by the blessing of God and a better luck, you will achieve your goals. I hope you enjoy this video. Comment in the comment sections. If not, just listen it, like it, and save it. Have a blessed one. Later.